Hey, tennis fans. Today, we've got a shocking story that's shaking up the tennis world. Jannik Sinner, one of the sport's brightest young stars, has tested positive for a banned steroid not once, but twice. But here's the twist. He's not getting suspended. How is this possible? What exactly is this drug, and why isn't Sinner facing the same consequences as Sharapova? We'll dive into all the details. From what the other players think to the loophole that's keeping him on the court. Don't miss a minute of this drama. And before we jump in, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any updates. Let's get started. Why wasn't Jannik Sinner suspended after 2 positive steroid tests? What do other players think? Number 1 ranked men's tennis player Jannik Sinner will be playing in the US Open, which begins in New York next week. Even though word just emerged that he tested positive twice in March for a banned anabolic steroid. It's a case that no one knew about until Tuesday, and one that has drawn all sorts of questions and, in some instances, criticism from other players who wonder whether there was a double standard at play because of Sinner's success, are confused about why this was all kept under wraps, and want to know why Sinner was allowed to keep competing before there was a resolution. I will now put this challenging and deeply unfortunate period behind me, Sinner said in a statement posted on social media. I will continue to do everything I can to ensure I continue to comply with the sports anti-doping program, and I have a team around me that are meticulous in their own compliance. Not everyone is completely ready to just move forward. And it will be interesting to see how much scrutiny Sinner receives from other athletes, from spectators, from the media, during the year's last Grand Slam tournament, where he will be the top-seeded man. Here is a look at some of the issues connected to what happened with Sinner. Who is Jannik Sinner? Sinner is a 23-year-old Italian who moved up to number 1 in the ATP rankings for the first time in June, and is considered one of the leaders of the next group of male tennis stars who will succeed the big three of Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic. Sinner's first Grand Slam trophy came in January. What is clostebol, the drug Sinner tested positive for? Clostebol is an anabolic steroid that can be found in ointments and sprays sold over the counter in some countries, such as Italy, and used to treat cuts or scrapes. It is considered a performance enhancer, and several athletes in various sports have been suspended after testing positive. One high-profile example was San Diego Padres star Fernando Tatis Jr., who received an 80-game ban from Major League Baseball in 2022. Sinner submitted a urine sample that showed traces of clostebol during the Indian Wells tournament in California in March. An out-of-competition sample 8 days later also tested positive. Jannik knew nothing of this. A statement released on Sinner's behalf on Tuesday said the violation occurred after Sinner's fitness trainer purchased a product that was used to care for a cut on the finger of the tennis player's physiotherapist. Jannik knew nothing of this, and his physiotherapist did not know that he was using a product containing clostebol, the statement read. The physiotherapist treated Jannik without gloves, and coupled with various skin lesions on Jannik's body, caused the inadvertent contamination. The product in question is said to have contained less than a Why was Sinner allowed to continue competing? Sinner was provisionally suspended for the 2 positive results, but he appealed those bans. saying that he inadvertently was exposed to the steroid. He argued that one member of his team purchased a spray that contained clostebol in Italy, then gave it to another team member, a physiotherapist, who cut a finger. Sinner said the physiotherapist then gave him a massage, which transmitted the substance to Sinner. The International Tennis Integrity Agency, ITIA, which handles anti-doping and anti-corruption investigations for the sport, accepted his explanation, as did an independent tribunal, which said Sinner was not negligent and not at fault. Was Sinner punished at all? Because one of the positive tests came during a tournament, Sinner had to forfeit $325,000 in prize money and 400 ranking points he earned by getting to the semifinals at Indian Wells. During the Indian Wells hardcourt event in March, Sinner tested positive for low levels of a metabolite of clostebol, a banned anabolic steroid that can be used for ophthalmological and dermatological use. It's the same drug for which San Diego Padres star Fernando Tatis Jr. was suspended by MLB in 2022. Sinner tested positive again 8 days later in an out-of-competition sample. He was provisionally suspended because of those test results. What do other players think about Sinner's case? Plenty of players hopped on social media to offer their takes on the latest high-profile doping case in tennis, a list that includes suspensions reduced on appeal for Grand Slam champions Maria Sharapova and Simona Halep. Nick Kyrgios, the Wimbledon runner-up in 2022, called the situation ridiculous, and he posted on X, "Whether it was accidental or planned, you get tested twice with a banned steroid substance. You should be gone for 2 years. Your performance was enhanced." Tennis Sandgren, a 2-time quarterfinalist at the Australian Open, said Sinner's explanation for how the steroid got into his system does seem pretty plausible, but added that how this was handled really doesn't seem fair compared to other players whatsoever. There also were those who noted that Jenson Brooksby and Michael Eimer both were suspended for missing tests. I do think that they protect top players. By protecting, they're going to keep the secret for a couple months. They're going to keep certain things secret if you're a top player, because they don't want the press. The player doesn't want the press. It's all going to come out in 3 months anyway, said Chris Evert, an 18-time Grand Slam champion who is now an ESPN analyst. I do think there's some protection there, more than if you were Joe Smith, ranked 400 in the world. British player Brody said, whether And there you have it, Jannik Sinner's shocking positive test for a banned steroid and the reasons behind why he's avoiding suspension. The controversy is sure to spark debates across the tennis world. Will this change the landscape of the sport, and how will it impact Sinner's career moving forward? Only time will tell. Make sure you stay tuned to our channel for all the latest updates on this developing story and more. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a thing. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.